Hi guys, so this time we're going to do something that I've been reluctant to do, I've been holding off doing, and the reasons why will become obvious as we go on. There's a little bit of danger and risk in this one. Make sure you have a soft surface. I don't recommend doing this on a regular floor or on concrete or tarmac. I'm thinking grass, a nice matted surface like I have here. Whatever you do, be careful, try not to hurt yourself, and relax. Don't tense up when you practice this. It's not going to do you much good. There's a term for this in martial arts. It's called hard body training. It's how guys manage to get a fist that can punch through a brick. This isn't anything like that, but it will have the same effect on your body. It's a little primitive, but it's a very, very useful thing to know. It's very important to know it, and it can and has saved people's lives, my own included. Not in martial arts, but just in general life. We're going to look at today is called breakfalling, and there are 3 specific ones that we're going to look at: sideways, backwards, and forwards. The idea of a breakfall is that when you hit the ground, you land in such a way that you don't get hurt. You take all the energy out of the fall and you bounce right back up. No problems, no issues, no shakes. This is a precursor to rolling. So instead of doing a breakfall, you would do a roll, like forwards, backwards, sideways, flipping. There are many, many different types of rolls. We're not going to cover them on video. We could, but I think it's going to be counterproductive and unsafe. So we will look at breakfalling, which is what we're going to do here, because you can't practice that without injuring yourself really at all. So, to practice your breakfalls, sit down. Well, I would say normally sit in seiza. This time don't. Sit with your feet together, knees together. All you're going to do is fall that way. And as you fall, start with an arm here. Don't let your head touch the ground and hit the ground when you land. You have to breathe out when you do this. Don't breathe in as you hit the ground. Don't hold your breath. Breathe out. Okay? Exaggeration there, but it's so you can hear it and see what's going on. A question I am always asked is, does your hand hit the ground that way, that way, that way, that way? I'm going to be perfectly honest, it doesn't matter. Some people prefer one way over the other. If you hit the ground with enough force, it's going to sting. Doesn't matter which way around your hand is. Pick one, stick with it. Your hand will get used to it and it won't bother you. Personally, I tend to go with the back of the hand. So you'll note my body's curved. I'm not flapped over like that, because that hurts. What we have is a curve here. I want to curve up here, so I'm partially rolling onto the ground like a banana. At this point, as my shoulder hits the ground, my arm releases, comes out there. I'm trying to It's been explained to me that I'm trying to convert some of the kinetic energy into sound. Law of conservation of energy suggests that's a thing and a possibility. How much the energy will transfer, I don't know. But that's how it goes. Here, you'll note my legs are coming up. I'm not trying to keep them flat. And of course, you need to do this on both sides. Careful not to smash my watch to pieces. Like so. It's a good safety note. Take your jewelry off first, watches, rings, all that stuff. This is something you should practice, and you should practice this until it becomes second nature. If you trip and fall, you want to land like this. If you don't know how to roll, This will stop you getting an injury. Please note my head never touched the ground. A lot of people, sometimes when they fall, will do this. Donk. That's called concussion. We don't want to do that. Another safety note, this one's predominantly for the gentleman. When you land, these stay apart. These do not come together. I promise you, you will make that mistake precisely once in your life, and then you will learn. Happens to everybody, don't worry if it does. Backwards. Backwards is pretty much gravity takes over. You start here, in this position, put your arms here, fall backwards, let your arms come out to the sides. Keep your head off the mats. Yeah, you see it from the side. So here, arms up. Now, important note is that I'm trying to hit the mats, so my arms aren't where they should be when I'm going there. I want my arms out at 90 degrees. Here. Yes? Not here. Here. That's all there is to that. Not a lot more to say. Keep curled up. Keep your head off the mats. Both arms out. Forwards is scarier. Forwards will be requiring a little more commitment from you. A little bit of strength in the neck. Also a very useful one to know. And you're going to take this hit on the forearms. Not the hand. If you try and land on your hand, so when people fall in general, they have a tendency to put a hand on to land on. This is the worst thing you can do. You can break numerous bones along here with a jar. We emphasize, we teach that you should never do that. Never put your hand on to land. Not a good idea. If you ask me when we're back on the mats, I might even tell you about the guy who had to go to 9 Miles Hospital and get a pin put in his thumb because he was an idiot. Don't do that. Forwards then. Forwards is the fun one. Forwards starts here. You come up and you just pivot like a chimney tower. You see how my head's not touching the mats? How my face hasn't planted in here? That's a really important point to note. And here. This made contact all in a oneer. Oh, hold on. I'm okay, fuck off. I fell, but I'm okay. My Apple Watch is trying to call for an ambulance because it thinks I've fallen over. Oh, that amuses me. Here. Okay. If you know, I'm landing flat on this. I'm not here, or here, or here. It's in a one. As I say, that one requires a bit more commitment. Don't fist plant. Strengthen the arms. Pivot. Breathe out. And there's not much else to say on that one. Those are the 3 ways to fall without doing the rolling stuff. The rolls, as I say, we're not going to get to those on the video. The idea behind that is instead of falling forwards, you come through here. Easy as pie. Practice those. Practice them on a soft surface. Don't practice them too much. Be careful, be safe.